12 days of healing together. Day number 1, we learned about cutting off what is toxic. That's law number 1. Day number 2, we learned about law number 2. And law number 2 was never think or act in fear. Always think and act in love. And then today we're starting law number 3. So for your notes, you can write this down, law number 3. Let me know if I'm not talking loud enough, by the way. Law number 3 is never become consumed with other people's thoughts, actions, and feelings. Or thoughts, feelings, and actions. Never become consumed with other people's thoughts, feelings, and actions. Never become consumed with other people's thoughts, feelings, and actions. Why do you suppose that's so important for healing? Especially from avoidant discard. What do you think? Never become consumed with other people's thoughts, feelings, and actions. It's because when we go through a trauma, it makes us start scanning for danger in others because the trauma came from how we were treated or mistreated. And so we start trying to figure out how to keep ourselves safe from that happening again. And so we're scanning our environment and we become worried about what other people are thinking, what other people are doing, how other people are feeling. And a lot of times we're trying to make sense of the situation. We're trying to make sense of our environment. When it comes to getting discarded, ghosted, blocked, dumped, we're trying to make sense of why someone would do that to us. So we start asking a lot of questions that have to do with the other people's thoughts, feelings, and actions. Why did my narcissist discard me? Why did they unblock me on social media? Why did they comment or follow my stories even though they're in a relationship? We start asking a lot of questions about why they do things and why they did things. Why, after 10 years together, did he leave me? And what happens is we actually become consumed with the other person's thoughts, feelings, and actions. We start to take responsibility for how other people feel or what they do. Well, maybe he wouldn't have left if I would have done something differently. Well, maybe he wouldn't have abandoned me if I didn't express my needs. It's my fault for expressing my desires, my wants. I said, hey, I want to spend more time together, and then they left me. So I did something wrong. When you do that, you're trying to take responsibility for someone else's actions, and that doesn't really make sense, does it? Because we can't be responsible for another person's actions, can we? So that's a behavior we got to cut out. We got to stop trying to take responsibility for someone else's actions. We got to acknowledge that we don't know why they decided to leave, why they ghosted, why they blocked, why they discarded. We don't know their true feelings, their true motives. So don't try to fool yourself into thinking that you do know and that you do understand or that you can by continuing to ask that question. Law number 3, we're talking about law number 3. We're on day number 3 of healing together. Never become consumed with other people's thoughts, feelings, and actions. When you're dumped, discarded, ghosted, blocked, especially by an avoidant, a lot of questions are left in your head because the avoidant does not communicate. Sometimes they'll give you an excuse, but the excuse doesn't feel genuine or honest. It'll be something like, I'm under a lot of pressure at work. I can't do our relationship anymore. I have to dump you because I'm under a lot of pressure from my family. I can't be with you anymore because, right, it's me, not you. I have a lot of things to do. I got to work on my things. I got to work on my finances. They don't leave you with answers. So your brain starts to ruminate, trying to figure out why did this avoidant, this person that I loved and that said they loved me, tell me last night that they loved me, they wanted to be with me, and they wanted to marry me, and then today they don't love me, they don't want to be with me, and they don't even want to talk to me, and they blocked me, or they ghosted me, or they said we're just done, and they don't seem to care. Why is there this sudden switch? And because you can't understand their behavior, because you can't mirror it in your own Rolodex of how you would act, it causes you to ruminate. So your brain is trying to solve a problem and you keep asking detrimental questions, such as, did they ever love me? Did they ever care about me? Does that sound familiar? Tap the screen if you've ever asked that question after the avoidant dumped you, or after a narcissist discarded you and devalued you. Do they love me now? Do they care about me now? Yeah, tap the screen if you've ever wondered that, or if you do wonder that about the person. Was everything a lie? All the love bombing, was that all a lie? Was I not good enough? Did I do something wrong to cause this? How can they just walk away so easily? You ever ask those questions? You're breaking law number 3. Never become consumed with other people's thoughts, actions, and feelings. You're allowing yourself to become consumed with it. It's natural that we might wonder, but you must not allow yourself to become consumed with it, right? It's natural that you might wonder how a person feels. Will they come back? That's being consumed with their actions. Is this permanent, or do they just need space? Is it just going to be temporary? Am I going to see them again? It's being concerned with another person's actions. All the control is in their hands on that one. Why did they breadcrumb me if they don't want a relationship? Why do they watch my stories if they don't want a relationship? Why do they watch my videos if they don't want a relationship? Why do they talk about me nonstop? Why did they tell my friend that they miss me if they don't want a relationship? Why don't they call me? You're becoming consumed with the other person's actions. You're asking questions about their actions, and your questions are understandable, but you see how it will keep your brain stuck in rumination if you allow yourself to become consumed by it, and it doesn't allow you to heal. Have you ever asked those questions? Tap the screen if you ever asked, should I tell them that they're avoidant? Will that help? Tap the screen if you ever asked, how do I get them to come back? Tap the screen if you ever asked, when should I reach out following no contact? How long should I wait before I reach out again? Have you ever said, how do I get closure? How can I get closure? Did I handle the breakup wrong? We get really consumed with their thoughts, their feelings, their actions, because they're not communicating anymore. They cut you off, and that's unnatural. It's unnatural to go from, hey, we're good, we're talking, everything's great, and then all of a sudden you don't want to talk to me anymore, I'm nothing. You're just totally discarding me and disregarding my worth, my value, everything. You're just treating me like nothing. We even start to question sometimes our own worth. Some of us should never do that, as we learned last night. But some of us have done that. We start to question our own worth, and we start to wonder, was it all fake? You're breaking law number 3. You're allowing yourself to become consumed with the other person's thoughts, actions, behaviors. Here's the deal. To get yourself out of the pain, out of the rumination, What is the action we must do every single time we miss them? The avoidant who discarded us, blocked us, ghosted us, devalued us. What is the action we must do? Nicole says, write the list. You're correct. Be specific. What kind of list are we writing? Every single time. Come on, guys. Every single time. You need to know immediately what to do. As soon as you feel the pain, as soon as you start to ruminate, what do you need to immediately do? What's the tool? Correct. Writing the devaluation list. Correct. Devaluation list. Correct. It's got to be automatic. You got to immediately grab the pen, find some nearby paper. I've been on the back of receipts in restaurants, right? Because you're feeling it. And it's like, okay, I got to do it right now. Bam. 8 reasons why they don't qualify to be your mate. 8 reasons why they don't, or mixed in what you don't like about them, what you dislike, what isn't great about them. Some of the things they've done that are not good, you need to devalue because your mind has been idealizing them and ignoring all the flaws. When you devalue them, it starts to already answer these questions. How so? When you ask these questions and you say, did they ever love me? What you're really saying beneath the surface is they are important to me and their feelings are important. That's what you're really saying. Because if I were to come up to you and say, hey, I just found out that someone in your 2nd grade had a crush on you, and you were like worried about your ex who you just broke up with, and you're like, I wonder if my ex ever loved me. And I say, listen, I can either tell you who used to like you in the 2nd grade, or I can tell you if your ex ever loved you. You want to know about the ex right now. Why? You don't care about the person in the 2nd grade, so you don't care about whether they loved you because you don't value them. So therefore, you wouldn't care about whether your ex really loved you, actually cared about you, if you just valued them less. The problem is that we're still identifying them as the most important person in the entire world, the entire universe to us. And that's what's making the valuation, the idealization so high in our mind that we go, why? What do they feel? I want to know what they feel. Guess what? If you valued them less, you wouldn't care what they feel. The real problem is not that you don't know what they feel. That's not the real problem. I promise you, it's not the real problem. I promise. Because even if you found out, it's not going to heal you. It seems like a question that's going to heal you, but it doesn't heal you. Because I can tell you the answer to the question right now. The answer to the question is, yeah, they loved you. Yeah. They loved you. That's why they were in a relationship with you. They liked you. They felt you. They were feeling your vibe. They were into you. However you want to think about it. They had the crush on you. You gave them feelings. Yeah. You were significant. He is not going to go out of his way to spend all that time with you. He didn't like anything about you if you weren't attractive to him. You were attractive to him. Yeah, obviously. She's not going to put all that makeup on and come out to come and see you if you're not valuable to her. Yeah, she liked you. Okay, that's the answer to your question. Did they ever love me? Yes. They did. Okay? All right. So you're good now? Are you healed? No. No. It feels good to know that. Like, oh, yeah, it's like a little soothe. Like, oh, thank you. It's soothing to hear that. But does it heal you? No. You know what does? Devaluation list. Because we have to rewire the brain. Because you're still going to have the same question tomorrow. So I told you today and it makes you feel a little bit better. But tomorrow you're going to wake up like, did they ever love me? It's facts. This is because our brain still has the same neural pathways. And what the neural pathways are wired to do is to view this person as the most important person in our life. The brain's already came pre-wired to do that. and you allowed a person into that position that didn't qualify. It's not to shame you, but it happens. Most of us have done it. All of us probably have done it. You allowed a person into the one special position in your brain of this one person that you're going to be so loyal to and you're going to pour everything into, and they don't qualify because you didn't know. They lied to you. They put on a mask, right? So now you're wondering what was real and what was false. But don't become consumed with the other person's thoughts, emotions, and feelings, because it will leave you empty and hollow. You can't control their thoughts, emotions, and feelings. That's really their business, and it doesn't matter. Because you go, well, did they love me? And I say, yeah, and you still got more questions. You're not satisfied. You go, well, what happened? Why don't they love me now? Right? It's not satisfying. If they were here, they wouldn't have good answers for you. They would say things like, I don't know. I do still love you. I'm sorry. Or they would start devaluing you. Well, it's your fault, and you're this, and you're that, and you're not a very good, and you are a cruel-hearted, controlling, manipulative, and you're like, whoa, you will get hurt worse, either by sitting there and watching them be void of emotion, or watching them tear you down with negative emotion and contempt. That's the closure that you're looking for because you're consumed with the other person's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Listen, it's not safe there. Being consumed with the other person's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, that's law number 3, guys. Welcome to the 3rd day of healing. Law number 3 is never become consumed with the other person's thoughts, feelings, and actions. It's not safe there. They don't have good control over their thoughts, feelings, or actions because they do their actions according to their thoughts and feelings, and their thoughts and feelings fluctuate. It's not safe there. So if you go trying to dig in there, let's say you were able to tie them down, lock them up and say, okay, I got you tied down. Now you got to answer the question. What happened? Why don't you love me? They will either have a lack of emotion toward you, which will hurt you because that's how they numb. They will have positive emotion towards you, but keep creating the paradox. I can't because I got to work on myself. We can't be together because of my father. We can't be together because I'm married. Whatever. They'll keep creating a paradox where they can't be with you. It's my work. It's this. It's that. It's not going to make you feel any better because it's going to make you feel confused. Like, if we love each other, then why can't we just be together? Or the third option is they're going to devalue you to your face. And it's going to hurt. Because now you're looking at the person that your brain thinks is the most important person in the world, and they're tearing you down. We cannot become consumed. Pop quiz. When we start to feel anxious and worried about what they're thinking and what they're feeling, what's the first thing we should do? Who's got it? When we start to feel anxious about what they're thinking and what they're feeling, what's the first thing we should do to calm that anxiety inside of us? Correct. The devaluation list. The devaluation list. Get the pen, get the paper, write down 8 reasons why they do not qualify anymore as your partner. Things that you don't like about them. 8 things that aren't so great about their behavior, their actions, their looks, anything. You need 8 reasons on a piece of paper. That's what you need to be working on. As soon as you feel those feelings, you immediately do the devaluation list. As soon as you say, did they ever love me? Do the devaluation list and then see if you care anymore. Because I promise just getting the answer won't satisfy you. It's not safe there in the other person's thoughts and feelings because you have no control there. Do you understand? We have to get out of the other person's thoughts and feelings. We have to get out of worrying about their actions. They liked the picture in the so-and-so and they texted the such and such, and how come they unblocked and blocked it? How come they? You're consumed with the other person's thoughts, feelings, and actions. Take a deep breath. I only control my thoughts, which there in turn controls my feelings, which there in turn motivates my actions. So I only control me. I control my actions. I don't control what they do. I don't know why. Say that. I don't know why they did that, but it doesn't matter because they are not as important as my brain is trying to convince me they are. It's a part of the survival wiring for your brain to believe that a person is so important to make you worried about the other person. But hearing the answer doesn't heal you. It just soothes you temporarily. And then you're still going to have more questions. Was everything a lie? Was everything with the avoidant a lie? The avoidant doesn't know what they really feel. They don't know the truth. They followed their feelings in the moment. And in the moment, their feelings said, this feels really great, let's keep going. And that led them to spin a lot of lies. It was a web of lies, but like the feelings were real, like they were really feeling good and enjoying it. But they were not, like this person says, they don't know what love really is. They can't sustain love, yeah. Like they loved you, they felt that, but they can't sustain it. So what value is that? So there you go, there's your answer. Do you feel satisfied? There's no satisfaction in getting the answer. Was everything a lie? Yeah, I mean, the love bombing was a lie. Like the beginning of the relationship was a lie in the sense that they can't sustain that. They don't have a plan for how they were going to keep that going. It just felt good for the time. So thanks. If they could say anything to you, thanks. I had a good time. I needed that. That's it. That's all they got for you. Like they needed a break from the hell of their life because they don't control their circumstances, so they live in a hellish existence. So they took a break and they fantasized with you and pretended you guys were going to run off and be together. But they didn't know how they were actually going to sustain that inside of a real relationship where you start having needs and boundaries and all of that. They don't know. They don't know. That's the answer. Like, yeah, it was a lie with some truths in it, right? What do you want them to tell you? They have nothing good to tell you on that. That's why you can't become consumed. It's not safe there in their thoughts and emotions. You will get in there and be like, if you could actually see all of their thoughts and feelings, it would be more confusing. If you think the actual behavior that they've shown you and treatment that they've given you is confusing, wait until you actually get inside the brain of the avoidant. You would go, this makes no sense. Everything that's bad for yourself, you want. Everything that's good for yourself, you run from. This is unsustainable. You won't feel better. You won't feel better. That's the answer. So law number 1, disconnecting from them emotionally, means that law number 3, not becoming consumed with their thoughts and feelings, keeps you safe. It's not safe there, their thoughts and feelings. So instead of going into that, do your devaluation list. We need to bring them down in value in our brain. It's not a bad thing because we're overvaluing them in our brain. Now that they've left, they're now in an overvalued position. It was great when they were with us because when they said, I'm going to marry you, and you valued them, you understand that aligns with your values, and you got all the dopamine, all the oxytocin into your system, and it felt amazing. But the moment they say, no, I don't want to be with you anymore, or they just ghost and block, it is now a trauma bond. You're no longer in a loving relationship, so therefore you have to devalue them in order to stay healthy. You have to. You have to. It's not fair. You don't want to because you love them. You go, I don't want to. I don't want to think bad about them. You have to. You have to focus now on the 8 reasons why they don't qualify or things you don't like about them. You have to. If you want to get into mental health and you want to feel better and you don't want to be in pain, you got to do your devaluation list constantly. You're rewiring the brain to see them as they really are, a flawed human being, not someone overvalued. Remember, if you don't care about a person, you don't really care what their thoughts and feelings are. If I introduce someone, hey, here's Greg. Would you like to know his opinions on the latest thing happening in the news? You'd be like, no. You don't care about how Greg thinks. You don't care about how Greg feels because you don't know Greg. Because you don't value Greg. It's because you valued your ex. That's why you keep asking yourself. That's why you keep asking the questions and ruminating, trying to get the answers. The answers don't come from them, from asking them. It doesn't come, even if I tell you what the answer to the question is, that's not where the healing comes from. It comes from rewiring the brain to not be consumed with them, to not overvalue them. Did I do something wrong? That's self-blame. If it's a good person for you, there's very little you can do to make them just run away. You would have to really do something so bad that you wouldn't have to ask, did I do something wrong? You understand? It wouldn't be a mystery, right? Was I not good enough? It's not a matter of your goodness for them. They left because of some issues they have in their processing powers and their perceptions. It's not a matter of you. You can be a good guy and still be perceived as a bad one. You can be a good woman and still be perceived as a worthless one. It doesn't have anything to do with you. It's not safe there in contemplating and being consumed with their thoughts and feelings and emotions. That's why this is law number 3. Welcome to day 3 of healing for those who are joining. Never become consumed with other people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Will they come back? Never be consumed with their actions. Don't be consumed with will they come back, okay? Let's dismantle that for a moment. There is no come back. Like they went somewhere, like they went to the store, and then they're going to literally come back to you. You're creating a false narrative in your head. Like they were with you, and now they've gone away, and you're wondering if they're going to come back with you. It's a false narrative. There is no comeback. What happened was the person is still right there down the street, wherever they used to live, or across the world, wherever they live. They're still there. But mentally, they've changed the way they think about you, which has changed the way they feel about you, which has changed the way they act towards you. So wondering if they're going to come back is a worthless wonder, because why would you want someone back who doesn't think about you in a positive way and doesn't feel positively about you, and therefore won't act in a beneficial way toward you? So even if they came back physically into your space, the chemistry is not there anymore. The vibe is off. Maybe you got to experience that a little bit before they left. Maybe you got to see what it was like when they dissociated from you, when they were just kind of like a bump on the log, and you're just pouring your love into them, pouring your love into them. Yeah, that would be the rest of your life if they stuck around. That's the back you're praying for, and you're forgetting about that because you keep thinking about the love bombing phase, and you're like, will they ever come back? Do you remember that before they left, they were checked out? Do you remember when they would not at the specific moment that they left, but there were times when they would just stop texting for no reason? Do you remember the times when they would stop communicating or not communicate their feelings? Do you remember the times that you would try to nail them down on a difficult conversation and they would have every excuse why they can't have an important conversation? I'm tired, I'm busy, I don't really want to talk about this right now. Do you remember? The back that you're trying to create is a false narrative, like, we had everything, it was great, and now they're gone, and now I want to get them back. Yeah, back acting in a way that they can't sustain. You're forgetting that was just an emotional moment for them. And there was a lot of mask wearing for them in that moment, because that's the survival techniques that they learned in childhood. So wear the mask. Be a people pleaser, be a high achiever. They know how to analyze you, mirror you, break down what it is you like, what it is you want, and then stroke your ego and give you what it is you want. That's what they do, because that's how they survived their childhood with their difficult narcissistic mother, their difficult narcissistic father. So that's what they were doing with you. Does that make sense? There's no back. It's love bomb, and then run out of gas and energy and be unable to integrate that positivity into the real world. You just do those two phases. There's no back. For people who say they get their avoidance back, what that means is that they physically reconnect, but the person hasn't changed. So it's just like, what they really should say is, will my avoidant leave me again once they come back? Because that's what you should really ask, because yes, it's just it's another setup for getting left again. Does that make sense? It's just another setup. When you say, will they come back, you're basically asking, will they come back to leave me again? Will they come back to abandon me again? That's what you're saying. It's not safe there. Don't go try to live in other people's thoughts, feelings, emotions, and actions. It's not safe there. As soon as you start to wonder, do your devaluation list. But why do they keep breadcrumbing if they never wanted to be with me? They always like to live in the paradox. They would rather live in a situation where they love you, like you, want to be with you, but they never reach out to you. They are not qualified. And that's what the conclusion you need to come to, instead of, why do they do really unqualified things? No. You need to say, oh, this person doesn't qualify to be my mate right now. That's all. If you're interviewing a person for a job, you don't go, well, why don't they have the schooling that's needed? Why don't they have any experience in the field? No, you just go, oh, they don't have the schooling that's needed. They don't have the experience in the field. They're not qualified. Therefore, I won't hire them. That's what I'm telling you that you need to do now with your ex. They left you. It was unfair. You didn't have a chance to change the way you felt. So you still had them at a level 10 out of 10, thinking that they're amazing, and then they bounce on you. Well, that wasn't fair. You didn't have time to come down off of your worship level that you had them at. So it's just a big shock and it's a trauma. But now is your moment to say, you know what? They weren't perfect, and I wasn't really being honest with myself. Or what I thought was perfection, some of it was lies. It was the love bombing phase where they put on a mask and appear to be everything I want to be, but they're really just mirroring me, because it's really my own greatness that I'm falling in love with. It's my own love, my own empathy that I'm falling in love with. Well, how long should I wait before I reach out? There is no manipulation of their emotions and the timing of the situation that's going to change them. You can't manipulate them into changing. You need to wait for them to change. And waiting means that you need to be actively pursuing your purpose in life and doing your healing work, which is not waiting to figure out when's the best time to contact them. That's not healing work. The healing work is your devaluation list. Every day, every time you're feeling the feelings. That's the healing work. Then focusing on purpose more and more. Focusing on self-care. You got 3 hours a day of self-care between your skin care and your hair care and your going to the gym every day, and then your hobbies. And that's outside of then the pursuit of your actual goals and your career and the way that you make money. There's very little time left for maintaining this relationship that's already been destroyed by the other person. It's not fair when they do that to you, but it's done. And that's what relationships are. They're extremely risky investments, because 50%, in fact 100%, is really in the other person's hands at all time, because one person can pull the deal. It has to work only by unanimous consent. And right now the relationship's not working by unanimous consent. And yeah, it's driving you crazy because on paper it should work, but they create a paradox in their mind because they're mentally ill as to why it's not going to work. And then they pull away from you. And you're like, I don't understand. Mental illness. They believe something that's not true about you and the world around them. I will always get left. No one can ever truly love me. I had an avoidant who had a program. No one could ever truly love me, and if they did, then that means something's wrong with them. She told me. I was like, it's such a detrimental program, you know? So in my empathetic mind, my empath mind, I'm like, well, I'm going to love you out of that. You can't love someone out of a program. All that happens is I fall into the other side of her program. Well, you've convinced me that you love me, so that means there must be something wrong with you. And that's what she convinced herself. She couldn't never tell me what it was that was actually wrong with me, but she created ideas in her head, and then she gets other people to co-sign on what's wrong, and then next thing you know, she's created a world in which there's something wrong with her partner. And that's what your avoidant will do to you every time. That's part of the devaluation phase. You can focus on a flaw that a person has. Every person has flaws, so it's not hard for them to find a flaw of yours. And they will focus on your flaw, devalue you, and then they'll tell their friends and family about your flaw so that they devalue you as well, thus bolstering them because they look to the outside, right, for the validation. And now once they get their community behind them in devaluing you and leaving you, then they can feel free to go. And it feels comfortable because it hits that internal script, that internal faulty program. No one can ever truly love me. See how that works? They have an internal faulty program that's mental illness, and then they operate according to it, and they got to fit you into that box. So even when you say, nope, you're not going to fit me into the box, they still find a way to fit you into the box. They go, oh, look how he's resisting trying to get fit in the box. That's how we know he's a really bad one. Or she's a really bad one. It's mental illness. They're trauma bonded to their old way of thinking, to their alcoholism, to their mother, to their father, to trying to fix their family, to trying to be the helper, trying to be the superhero, to their adult children, trying to make up for the pain of their adult child's traumatic past. They feel guilty. They put themselves in a paradox where all of their mental and emotional energy is going towards something else. It's not safe there, worrying about their feelings and their thoughts. Never become consumed with other people's feelings and other people's thoughts. So what should we be consumed with? Do you know how to take a deep breath and ask yourself, how do I feel right now? Especially when you're going through the grieving process of the breakup, you should be doing that multiple times per day. Take a deep breath, breathe, ask yourself, how do I feel right now? That's a part of STOP, S-T-O-P. Stillness, thoughtfulness, observance, patience. Stillness, thoughtfulness, observance, patience. That's STOP. Be still. That means you can breathe and blink. Nothing else. Don't do anything with your hands. Don't run away. Don't walk away. Don't fight. Be still. Then think. Thoughtfulness. How do I feel right now? Okay. Without becoming consumed, how might the other people be feeling? Okay. And what would the bird's eye view of this situation be? Okay. Interesting. Thoughts, thinking in an analytical way. O stands for observation. Observe. What time is it? What day is it? This keeps you out of an emotional flashback. What year is it? Oh, look at this. It's 2026 and I pay my own bills. Oh, okay, so I don't have to worry about the way someone mistreated me. Okay, and I have a lot of things I got to work on. I can observe, right, the reality of the situation. Finally, be patient with yourself. Be patient with other people. That means to be able to endure the suffering without becoming irritated. That's STOP, S-T-O-P. Memorize it. Stillness, thoughtfulness, observance, patience. It's one of those fundamental tools of emotional regulation in all situations. You need to be able to default to something you have memorized, not just in a book. Stillness, thoughtfulness, observance, patience. You can memorize that. STOP. We got to stop. And then it helps us to disengage properly from the other person's thoughts, emotions, feelings. Here's me, here's you. We need work on that. As trauma survivors, as anxiously attached people, we need work on there's them and here's me. Who's responsible for their actions? They are. Who's responsible for their perception of me? They are. Who's responsible for how well they understand me? That's a good one. Who's responsible for how well they understand me? Trick question. It's not really possible for someone to fully understand you. You're a separate person. But if anything, it's them, yes. Because it's up to them to ask the questions that they need to get the understanding that they need. It's not up to you to try to make someone understand you. Common misconception in life. We think that we should try to make someone understand us. No. You control your effort to be understandable. Thanks for the gifts, guys. If you go to the website healingcourse.org and you give a donation, then we receive 100% of that. Gifts come in at 50%. They control how much effort they put forward to really understanding you, how much they really care about understanding you, how much they're going to dig at understanding you. They put that, they control that. But you control your effort to be understandable, to be clear. You control your clarity. But you can't control if they understand you, if they're paying attention. It's not up to you. Who is responsible for their effort to show up in the relationship? They are. Who's responsible for their their actions? They are. Their thoughts? They are. Their words? They are. So we have to be able to separate ourselves. Who's responsible for your actions, your thoughts, your words? You are responsible for that. So we have to be able to see a very clear separation and know whose job is what. Whose job is what. Understand? Never be consumed with another person's thoughts, feelings, and actions. That was our theme for today. This was day 3. Welcome to the 200 that are in the room. You can go on the website to book a one-on-one session with me at healingcourse.org. All of you are invited to do so. We are inside of a book called The 12 Laws of Healing Journal, which is available on that website, healingcourse.org, as well as on Amazon. And we are doing a healing together every day for 12 days. Today is day 3. You're invited back 12 o'clock Eastern over the full 12-day period each day to heal from being dumped, discarded, ghosted, blocked, whatever it was that happened to you. We're going to heal it together, okay? So everyone in the chat right now, if you were recently in the last year discarded, ghosted, blocked, dumped, and it hurt you, please put a P in the chat for pain, a P for pain. I want other people who are here and who are just joining us to see that they're not alone. So please put a P in the chat if in the last year you have been ghosted, blocked, discarded, dumped, devalued. Put a P in the chat for pain so other people can see they're not alone. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. For those of you who are new here, take a look at the chat. We're healing together. You're not alone. The greater the love, the greater the pain. The reason why you see so many P's is because these are very loving people. This is the crowd of love right here. These are the empaths. They feel. They care. They didn't just immediately try to replace with someone inferior just so they could look good. No, they're going through the healing process. and they're here to heal. Some of you have asked questions, and I haven't seen your questions. Now is the time to ask that question again, and then I'll answer your questions one by one. This is your chance to ask questions about being discarded, dumped, ghosted, or blocked by an avoidant, or healing from a breakup, even if it was by a person that you found to be secure and healthy. Now's the time to get your questions answered. A guy just ghosted me because he personally knows my brothers and father. Only reason he said I'm heartbroken. You repeated your question, but I don't see you finishing your question. Yeah, don't copy paste your questions unless it was from before now. As of right now, I'm just going through one by one, so you don't have to copy paste your question. How do we stop getting validation from the external? If my bottle is full, then I don't need to go and get water to fill my bottle, because I can't, because my bottle is full. So your job is to get yourself full of validation. Fill yourself with validation. You do that by literally validating yourself. Self-validation looks like, I think A, B, and C. Am I right? I'm not going to ask someone else. I'm going to ask myself. Self, do I think I'm right? Yes, because here are my reasons. Pen, paper. Reason number 1, blah, 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 blah. Reason number 2, I'm right, blah, 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 blah. Reason number 3, I'm right, blah, 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 blah. Reason number 4, I'm right, blah, 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 blah. Make sense? Now you have self-validated. Now your bottle is full, and it's impossible for you to look for validation from the outside because you're already full of it. So the lesson today was never become consumed with the other person's thoughts, feelings, and actions. That's correct. I'm going through one by one. I'm going to get to all your questions. So no need to copy paste them, guys. He has the clothes in my home. When do I call him to pick them up? It's a business matter, so take care of it as soon as possible. And do it in a way that's not an excuse to see each other. Make sure it's just handled like business, even if that means arranging it so you don't see each other. Like, hey, I'll leave them in the car on the porch or whatever. I'll drop them off. I'll ship them. It's okay to arrange it in a way where it's not like a secret rendezvous, no underlying motive. Like, just take care of necessary business. Hey, you got clothes here. What do you want me to do with them? Plain and simple. Be considerate, but be businesslike. Moma says, I'm an avoidant. What's the first steps to healing from it? I want to have healthy relationships. That's very good. First of all, you're doing the right thing by being here. Come to all the days. Go on my TikTok. Go through the series on fixing the avoidance. Go on the website, healingcourse.org. Enroll in the attachment healing clinic there. Order the book, 12 Laws of Healing. Get all the tools, okay? Get all the tools. My advice for you, though, to answer your question, nothing in fear anymore. Everything in love. Learn what that means. Nothing in fear, everything in love. It's law number 2. You can learn more about it inside the book. Is it okay to call them out on their bad behavior? Yeah, I come from a place of this is what I need rather than you are wrong. So less judgment, more assertiveness about your wants and needs in the relationship. Your wants and needs are already legitimate, so you don't need to justify them or call them to account on different things. Just tell them what you need. You know what I mean? I don't have to tell my girlfriend she did something wrong. I can just tell her what I need. If she left her dirty washcloth on the floor and I didn't like it, I don't have to say, hey, you left your dirty washcloth on the floor. I can just say to her at an appropriate time, hey, listen, it's really important to me that we don't leave anything on the floor like dirty washcloths. I can just say it as a need, and it's less blaming. Right? And even if she becomes defensive, then I would repeat to her, I'm not blaming you for anything. I'm just telling you what I need. It's a healthy way of communicating. Can an avoidant person also be an empath? Absolutely. Yeah, it's common. What is the devaluation checklist? Where you write down 8 things on a piece of paper that disqualify them from being with you, or things you don't like about them, or things that are not good about them. Helps to rewire your neural pathways and reset your chemicals. As soon as you finish with the list, you will already start to feel better. Why do they do that? Why do they do what, sweetheart? I'm heartbroken. Oh, that's what you're trying to say? A guy ghosted me because he personally knows my brothers and father. Only reason, he said, I'm heartbroken. Ask yourself, does this person actually meet the qualifications to be my mate? And what you'll find is that you want someone who doesn't ghost you and doesn't feel afraid of knowing your father and brothers. Right? Because your husband's going to have to know your father and brothers. So just start there. Like, does this guy actually qualify as my forever mate? Because you're focusing on how great he seemed and ignoring the fact that he just showed you he's not that great. After infidelity, can the marriage ever be restored? Got 2 women pregnant. Yes, marriages can be restored after infidelity, but the innocent mate has to want that. If they don't want that, you need to let them go and let them go do their thing. We have a huge age gap. It can't work. How do I detach? Your age gap is irrelevant to your question as to how do you detach. If you decide it can't work, then that's your personal decision. Other people may have age gaps and maybe that does work for them. Maybe that's even what they want, right? So let's make it about your personal standards are not being met here, or your needs aren't being met. So you've decided it's not going to work for you, and that's legitimate. The excuses don't legitimize your decision. Your decision is legitimate because you're the queen and you've made a decision. So how do I detach? Do the devaluation list. Go no contact with the person. What is the difference between empath or people pleasing? And just being an empath just means that you're a highly empathetic person and you're moved by empathy in your relationships. And so it really motivates a lot of your actions. People pleasing is as operating out of fear. So an empath can still be an empath and operate with no fear. A people pleaser operates out of fear. They're afraid of being left, abandoned, discarded, replaced, not loved. And so they're pleasing as a survival mechanism rather than thriving in life with intellectual strategy and making decisions according to their wisdom. Philly says, if the relationship was secure but the discard happened after a birthday argument, can they come back? Irrelevant whether it was a birthday argument. It doesn't matter who was born, what the anniversary of whose birth it was. That's irrelevant. If the relationship was secure, but they discarded you, then the relationship was not secure. So you're contradicting yourself. Can they come back? Yes, but you don't know if they will or when. So don't focus on that. You have to focus on what you do control. Otherwise, you're going to drive yourself insane. So focus instead not on what I don't control. Are they going to come back or not? Get focused on your purpose, your self-care, your personal projects, your hobbies, and having something to show for the time that's going to pass, because the time's passing. And you don't want to look back and say, oh, I have nothing to show except my grief. It's not a good look. Trust me, you're not going to want that. We have not talked in 18 days. He has clothes here. Should I reach out to him? Yeah, keep it professional. Um, she blocked me everywhere but WhatsApp. Feel like I'm in limbo. You are in limbo because you're still consumed with what does she want, what does she need, what is she doing. You need to instead switch it, Barry, to does she qualify as everything I want in a woman based on her current actions? Oh no, as it turns out, I don't want a woman who blocks me on everything. Oh, okay. Then what do I need to do? Go about my day. Who cares that I'm not blocked on WhatsApp? That doesn't mean it. That doesn't make a difference because I don't want her because she doesn't qualify. So therefore, I can't build my family bloodline with her. She doesn't qualify. She's a blocker. Respect the block. So be like, okay, I guess you want to block me. He left me because I told him that I don't feel loved. Yeah. So, does he qualify? Does a man that leaves you when you express needs qualify as your forever mate? Have they shown themselves to be a good husband to you? No. Now you know. You didn't know. Now you know. That's the way you look at it. So why did he hold on to your things knowing that I left him? Maybe you mean why did he hold on to my things or something like that? I don't know what you mean. But knowing that you left them, why did he hold on to you? You left the things. Why did he hold on to them? There's no need to be, that's being consumed with other people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions and actions. We don't know why he did what he did. Who knows? Maybe he forgot about them. Maybe he wants to burn them in a religious ceremony. Or maybe he's just being considerate and it's just like, oh, maybe she's going to want her clothes. Like, who knows? There's no need to focus on that. Get focused on what you control. I'm a fearful avoidant that does the discard for the 8th time. He's a dismissive avoidant and now has turned the table. I don't know what to do now, but I want to repair the relationship. You should not repair the relationship. You should not repair the relationship. You should repair yourself. It's like, trying to think of an example for you. It's like, if I, this is a little bit of a ridiculous example, but being a fearful avoidant is also ridiculous. So let me give you this. If I had chainsaws super glued to my hand and the chainsaws were going, and then I go, oh, I accidentally chopped down my entire house. I'd like to rebuild my entire house. How do you think I can rebuild my entire house? Like, where's the nearest hardware store? That's kind of like what you're asking me. Like, sir, you have chainsaws super glued to your hands. Get the chainsaws off your hands. And then you can think about rebuilding your house. And that's what you're doing. I'm a fearful avoidant. So I destroy relationships. So I'd like to know how I can rebuild the relationship. You understand? You heal yourself so that you're no longer fearful avoidant. Develop a secure attachment. Okay, you can do so in a matter of days, weeks, if you put the effort in. Go to my website, click on attachment issues, get to work. Come to my meetings every Monday, every Wednesday. Attend our 12 days of healing together. You work on yourself. Don't worry about fixing the relationship with the dismissive avoidant. You got chainsaws on your hands. I love your lives. Just be working and listening, soaking up all your advice. Smart woman. Smart woman. Wisdom begets wisdom. Oh, that's a good one. Thank you. Say what I need. You shouldn't hold them accountable? ? Fabulous says. I don't know what you're referring to, like what I said that makes you ask that question. But if someone doesn't qualify, you need to get away from them. sitting around trying to hold someone accountable. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, so I don't know how to apply your question. What do they discard us with no explanation? Or why do they discard us with no explanation? Because they don't have skills of communication. They don't know how to express their feelings. They are emotionally immature. They don't prioritize your feelings and your needs. They are being self-centered. They are acting according to their emotions and their feelings. They feel overwhelmed with their emotions. They don't want to hear your counter arguments to make them feel more confused. They want to continue to live in this deluded, negative state about you that they're in. So those are some of the reasons why they don't give you an explanation. But you need to stop being consumed with their actions. Because the theme of today is stop being consumed with other people's actions. Well, why didn't they do this? Because there are different types of humans in the world, and that's how those types of humans operate. Now ask yourself, do they qualify to be my forever mate based on this action? Kim Wilson's in the chat. She says, I told him he could come back to my home to pick up his belongings because I'm not comfortable seeing him. Okay, good enough. I mean, you don't have to put the extra part about I'm not comfortable, just unless he's asking. Just keep it business. Got your clothes. How do you want to get them? What do you want me to do with them? Or here, you can come to my house and get them while I'm not there. Whatever. Tell him what to do. I reverse discarded. He made it impossible to stay, so I had to leave, then blamed me for leaving. Okay. I gotta go, but I love your work. No need to announce that. Nobody was sitting here like, is Jay Farmer still with us? We don't know if he's still in the chat. Doesn't matter. You can come and go. It's a free space. What should I do? My fearful avoidant came back 3 weeks after I broke up with him. Now he is changing. For the worse or for the better? There is no came back. I have set myself up to get left again by my fearful avoidant. Okay, that's what you really mean. Now, he's changing. Now just tell me, is he changing for the worse or changing for the better? Let me know. I was also reverse discarded by an avoidant. Okay. I was with a narcissist for 15 years. I was healing and flat on my face. What's next? I was with a narcissist for 15 years too. Let's go, 15-year buddies. I was healing and flat on my face. I don't know what you mean by that, but I guess you were having a hard time. What's next? Healing but not having a hard time. Healing but like loving it and thriving and like being at your best version of yourself and living the best life that you can live and understanding that you can create a superior reality for yourself. Living in truth and not being abused by narcissists anymore. Cutting off all the toxic people. What's next? Everything that's great. Everything that's best. What's next is doing your one-on-one session with me, which you're probably not doing because I don't know who you are. What's next is enrolling in my healing school. That's what's next. I left before he could do the final discard, 7 weeks pregnant. He told me he was using me. Yeah, let me know, guys, if you have questions. I appreciate you guys sharing your personal experience. But I'm prioritizing the questions here. What should I do? My fearful avoidant came back 3 weeks after I broke up with him, and now he's changing. Please don't copy-paste your questions. I'm going through one by one. Please do not copy-paste your questions. Hi, Coach. I wanted some lessons from how I can reach you. Yeah, you can reach me on my website. There's a phone number there. You can text that number. You can also DM me here on TikTok. You can also book a one-on-one session, and then you got me right there. I recommend the one-on-one session. You can enroll in Healing School. You get a free session when you enroll in Healing School. Go to the website. Click on the link in the bio. Click on the link on my page. Why do meaningful holidays and B-days mean so little to fearful avoidance? It's not that those days mean little to them, it's that they try to avoid emotional pressure. So they're going to avoid you because you make them feel emotions. How to navigate divorce with the dismissive avoidant, he's stalling the process. That, talk to a lawyer more so. Like, I can't really give you advice on navigating a divorce with a fearful avoidant. Like, it's a business proceeding, it's a lawsuit. So it's not really a mental health question as much as I think you feel that it is, because, well, he's being difficult. You have to focus on what you control. You strategize with your team. You have a team. You have a legal advisor who's helping you. Strategize. Strategize on your own. You know the person. If there's things, leverage you can use to motivate the person, take out your sticks of leverage and use your leverage to motivate the person to the action you need them to take. But this is more of a strategic legal question than a mental health understanding question. We broke up 3 months ago, but he still checks my stories or asks information about me. Yeah, that's typical. They're going to continue to hover around, and they like to have a relationship where there's no relationship. They just like you, and that's it. Or they're just interested in you and they watch you. Lifestyle Vibe says they ask information from my friends. Oh, why do they do that? Yeah, because it's safe. It feels a lot safer to just look and ask questions to your friends than to meet up with you, the real human who has power to really hurt them emotionally and give you that power and be vulnerable to you and take that risk. So that's why they do that. It's the right person, except we have different career paths taking us to different countries, and it's not the right time. So right now, I always say right now, do they qualify? No. Stop trying to find a way around my rule. It doesn't work. Right now, they don't qualify. You got different career paths going to different countries. Unless you're going to drop your career path and follow him. She has detached from me emotionally, but still talks to me once in a while. What do I do? She shows no emotion. What do you do when a woman detaches emotionally from you? You detach emotionally from her. I mean, you can ask her questions, but I assume that you've already asked. Like, hey, is everything okay? Is there anything I can do? Is there anything I've done? You can ask, but outside of that, then you detach emotionally. How can you tell avoidance apart from narcissism? Narcissists sustain their cruelty. There is no flashes of empathy and accountability. They're just always lacking empathy and lacking accountability. They'll put on a fake mask and fake empathy maybe, but it's never actually there. Can lustful men truly change? If so, how? There's no such thing as like this categorizing like the lustful men. Like there's this category of lustful men. Like people have addictions, they have issues, they have childhood trauma, they have problems. Can a person with an addiction, childhood trauma, problems, low self-worth, low self-esteem, sex addiction, porn addiction, can they change? Yeah, they can change. How? You're not a lustful man. You're not one of these people. So why would I tell you how they change? That doesn't make sense. You can't change them, ma'am. You cannot change this lustful man that you're categorizing that way or looking at that way. You can't change them. You need to look for a person who doesn't have addiction to porn, sex, whatever it is, who's healed from their childhood trauma. Not try to figure out how to fix one. He is avoidant, but also doesn't want to leave me alone. Why? Because he loves you and he likes you and he wants you. He wants it all. He wants to be away from you and to be with you at the same time because he's mentally ill. Now I don't care about him anymore. Thank you. You're welcome. That's freedom. If you don't care about him, then you don't care how he feels. If you don't care how he feels, then your pain is done. He blocked me because of his third party. How do I date if I easily get emotionally attached and heartbroken whenever someone I was into leaves? Don't date, vet. Do not date, vet. You go to my YouTube, type in vet Roman Zanoni. You can do it here on TikTok, vetting Roman Zanoni. The video comes up, it explains to you how to vet, the vetting process. Don't date, vet. I've never told you guys, hey, get out there and date. You got to get into dating. It's not about dating, it's about vetting people. Sorry, I missed the whole answer about him leaving me when I told him I don't feel loved. Oh, I said, does that meet your qualifications? A man that leaves you when you express your needs and wants? How do I do your classes, please? First, click on my picture, then click on the link underneath of my picture on my page, then continue until you're at my website, and then on the website, start selecting classes. Start reading what it says and clicking around until you find a class that interests you, and select it and keep clicking through and do everything you need to do so that you become healed and wise and happy and thriving in life. Just wanted to thank you. Your videos really helped me. And now I feel happy again. Good. Come back when you're not feeling happy again. If a fearful avoidant has been in a 15-year off and on relationship, will he leave permanently? You don't know what he's going to do. I don't know what he's going to do either. And coaches who try to tell you that they know what he's going to do are just doing that to make money off of you. Nobody knows what your guy's going to do. He's unpredictable. I don't know if the next time he leaves is going to be permanent or not. We know he's going to leave because he's a fearful avoidant until he fixes that. Thank you very much. You're welcome, Ashley. Fearful avoidant is so exhausting. Sabotage, rebuild, sabotage, rebuild. Yeah, it's really just a lot of sabotage and you lacking the boundaries to not take them back. It's you lacking boundaries. You're letting a person dump you and then just come back without giving them obstacles to come back. When a person dumps you and then they want to come back, you need to give them obstacles to go through. Okay, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. That's how you help to assign value and worth and make sure you don't just have someone who's just using you, but you have someone who really understands that when they leave you, they have to go through some hoops to get you back. Why do I fall in love so quickly? Because you focus on everything that's good and positive because you're a loving person. What you need to learn is how to vet instead of dating. Don't date, vet. Dating is working against you. Ladies in the chat, dating was not designed with you in mind. It's not designed to protect you. It's designed to destroy you. Don't fall for the modern day incarnations of dating. It's a trick. It's a trap. I'm telling you. It doesn't work. If you've ever taken the time to think it out, wait a second, you will realize when you calculate it and you do the math, dating doesn't work for women. Vet. Learn the vetting process. How can you tell avoidance apart from narcissism? Avoidants have empathy and they can change. Once my ex got into a relationship behind my back, he stopped coming around to see our children as often. I'm sorry to hear that. Let me know if you have a question. I need your classes online. How do I apply for it? Click the picture, click the link. I'm so glad I turned in. I really struggle with being consumed with what others think and feel. Tuned in, yeah. This law number 3, it's very powerful. Very powerful for healing. Never be consumed with what other people think and feel. Learn to regard yourself and your feelings as equal to anyone else's thoughts and feelings. Can you guys do me a favor? Can you guys tap the screen like a good 25 times like this? And what that's going to do is attract a few more people to our room here while we're rolling. I want to see, about 210 people. And right now we're just floating at 200. which means we're not growing in a business that doesn't grow. What kind of business is that, right? So let's look at this like our company, and we need to like get as many people in here healing with us as possible. There we go. We're already at 207, just like that. Nice job, guys. I found out my ex is a swinger. He hid it from me. How can I start to begin trusting men again? This is like a tea conversation, right? It makes everybody want to pull up and get their tea. Like, you found out he's a swinger, girl. My goodness. I'm sorry to hear that he lied to you, that he was hiding something in his life from you. But how can I begin trusting men again? Whoa. Whoa, that's a leap. We're all swingers now? That's the traumatized approach. Like, oh, because my ex was a swinger, now all these men must be swingers. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So let's slow it down. Stillness, thoughtfulness, observance, patience. Who's the swinger and the liar? My ex is the swinger and the liar. Are all the men the swingers and the liars? I've never met all the men. Oh, my ex is the swinger and the liar. Okay. So who should I stop trusting? The people I haven't met that have never hurt me, or the one that I met that has hurt me? Who, in order to keep myself safe, who do I know for sure that I should stop trusting? If it's between the one who I met, you get it? He's the one you need to not trust. The untraumatized mindset is, my ex was a secret swinger, and now I don't trust him. Not, I don't trust all penises. That doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. What did the other guys do to you? Just don't trust him. Now you can move on and thrive in life. You vet instead of date, where you give people intermittent, small amounts of trust at a time. Vetting. It's a skill. Does that make sense? I am Sylvie. Explanation. As long as it worked for him, I didn't need to know anything. Ergo, no explanation. That's how some people can be. Is it ever appropriate to ghost? Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes it is very appropriate to ghost. Yeah. But ghosting can also be a form of abuse. So don't do it just because it's expedient or because you don't have the maturity to work it out and to show care and concern for another person's feelings. That's when it gets wrong. When there's an emotional relationship that's already developed and then you're just going to decide to ghost them. That's awful. Don't do that. And if you've done that to someone, go back and apologize to them. But if the person is abusive or dangerous to you in any way, it's appropriate to ghost. If the person is not in an emotional relationship with you because you just met them in the last 24 hours, reasonable that you might ghost because you don't owe them anything because you understand there's not enough time built where that's going to destroy them emotionally. Still not the best way of handling it, but reasonable in cases where we haven't had the chance to actually get to know someone. Reasonable. I aspire to be as cold-blooded and as strong as you. Not there yet. Thank you for the backhanded compliment. I appreciate it. But I am cold-blooded. I will cut my own mother off. In fact, I have. How do I apply to your classes online, please? Oh, please don't copy-paste your comment. I'm going through one by one, guys. I'm not missing your comment. I'm behind on the comments. Do you understand how that works? I'm going through the comments. Yours is a new one, so we haven't gotten to your comment yet. You don't need to keep re-asking it. What do you think? I'm skipping your comment and reading a bunch of invisible ones that you can't see? Scroll up. Find where I'm at so you can see how long it's going to be before you get to your comment. But don't just keep copy-pasting. Why is it hard for anxious attachment to let go, especially when you know it's over? Because you love? Because you love. Like, why would you just let something go super fast and super easy when it's valuable to you? That wouldn't make sense. Like, what do you want? Oh, I just expect that I'm just supposed to immediately let it go. Securely attached people don't have an easy time letting relationships go when they're over. If a securely attached person is loving and empathetic, they care, they hurt. It hurts. It's not easy to let go. They may see if there's something they can do to not make it have to end so abruptly. Yeah, it's normal to feel that way. Well, you just need to make sure that what you're doing is not according to your emotions, but according to what's most beneficial, true love. Is it typical for them to make you leave them so they are not the culprit? Yes. Yes. Damn, oh my goodness. Okay, calm down. Silent treatment is emotional abuse. Correct. How do I apply? Man, this person's the copy paster queen over here. Is fearful avoidance, if a fearful avoidant has been in a 15-year off and on, will they leave you permanently? Like I said, I don't know. Do you have a WhatsApp number for people in UK or Africa to reach you? Yes. Get a pen and paper and I'll tell you what it is. I live in Sweden, but I will love to go to Healing One-on-One. Okay, you can grab your pen and paper too for the WhatsApp number. It's coming. I never knew what an avoidant was until I got on here. I got discarded out of the blue and it broke me. Don't say it broke me. That's not accurate. Don't ever contextualize something as breaking you. I'm learning from it. I'm growing from it. I'm healing from it. It hurt. It caused pain. Don't say it broke me. You're not broken. Okay, here comes the WhatsApp number. +1 for United States, 414-722-1451. Can you give a few characteristics of safe people? As a fearful avoidant, I feel I'm leaving for self-respect. You should leave because someone doesn't meet your standards, and a safe person is someone who meets all of your standards and respects your boundaries, always. A safe person is someone who meets all of your standards and respects your boundaries, always. That's a safe person. They respect your boundaries. That means when you tell them, I'm uncomfortable, they say, oh, that's very important. Let's stop everything and make sure you're comfortable. That's a safe person. As long as they always behave that way, they're safe. The moment they stop behaving that way, they are no longer safe. Until they begin behaving that way again. She has detached from me emotionally, but still talks to me once in a while. What do I do? She shows no emotion. Detached from her emotionally. What did my ex tell me? Why did my ex tell me he loved me and I was the love of his life if he avoids emotions? Was it fake? No, as we've discussed here, you may not have been here in the beginning of the class. It was real. That was how they felt. Now they feel like avoiding you because they feel afraid. Why do I continue to attract avoidance? Because you're an attractive person, and avoidants are also attractive, and you become mutually attracted. It's not because they're avoidants that you're attracting them. They're just humans, and you're a human. You're attracting all types of people. You also attract secure people and narcissists and all types of things. You are attracting everything. You have happened to fall in love with these avoidants, but that's not because you only attract avoidance. That's ridiculous. Sylvie says, I recognize the patterns. Why would you like someone and avoid them because they make you feel feelings? Because avoidants are mentally ill. So they've developed a mental illness where they feel like, because of their trauma, that it's not safe to have love. It's not safe to have vulnerability. It's not safe to take risks in the relationship. It's not safe to feel those feelings and to be intimate. That's what they've learned from their childhood. I use the example in the series where I explain about water. You guys remember that water in a glass? And if you have water as a kid, and then someone comes and just keeps knocking down your water, what that will change your association with having water. You should go to the series on my TikTok page and take a look at that. How to fix your avoidant, it's called. He had told me the day before how much, don't copy paste your comments, guys. He told me the day before how much he loved me and he wasn't going anywhere, now nothing. Yeah, that's exactly what avoidance do. Everyone here can relate to you because that's what they do. Yeah, they tell you how it's going to be great, or you have that intimate moment, and then they're gone. Yeah. People I'm dating say it's minor. I need to wait for a deal breaker. Don't worry about what other people say. You decide. You decide when you leave, and don't leave based on what did you say? Self-respect. Leave based on a actual violation of your standards or your boundaries, an actual violation, so that you have something concrete that you can look at. Otherwise, if it's something nebulous, like I left because I respect myself, okay, what is it specific? Like have it on paper, like what was the specific thing that they're doing that was making you uncomfortable? Know what it specifically is, please. There is probably something legitimate, just figure out what it is. And don't ask other people's opinion on if it's legitimate. Unless you're talking to me. But even then, I'm not who legitimizes it. You legitimize it. But I'll help you if you need help. Recognizing patterns helps to see their game. It does, yeah. But they don't feel, avoidance don't feel like they're playing a game. Avoidance are as trauma survivors. They're literally just trying to survive. And it felt good that they had a little moment to get a break from just barely surviving with you. Thank you guys for all your likes and taps. That brought in the 210 that we needed. I appreciate you guys for that. I was discarded 38 days ago. He asked for space, but he's made no attempt to come back. What do I do? You're discarded, so you 100% move on. It's over. Based on his discard, it's technically over. For now. Do you understand? Say that to yourself. For now, it's over. For now, he doesn't qualify. Because a man that discards you no longer qualifies. So you just completely move forward like it's over. You talk to other guys. You go to the gym. You make friends. You pursue your hobbies. You pursue your talents. You pursue your purpose. And pretend that he died. Like it's over. If he comes back and he changes and he says, hey, I'm no longer a person who discards people, then great, then you can take him back. But if he comes back and he hasn't changed, then you still can't take him. So what you need to do is move on. What to do when you tell someone you don't think we're compatible, but they keep asking for a reason? Well, if they're violating your boundary, then you need to move on because they're not showing respect for your boundary. It's up to you to decide if you want to be with them. If you don't think you're compatible, then just stop. Stop communicating with them. Why do I keep attracting unhealed men and narcissists, and now I'm an avoidant? You keep attracting unhealed men because you're attractive, and you attract all types of people. You may have gotten into relationships with unhealed men because you're dating instead of vetting. Now I'm an avoidant is I'm going to allow myself to be traumatized and be changed for the worse by other people's behavior. That's child level processing. So now you need to get into your wise mind, into your mother mind, and adult level process the situation. Okay? It's not that I can't trust anyone, it's that I can't trust them. It's not that I can't trust myself, it's that now more than ever I can trust myself for what I've been through. Adult level processing. I was with one. He left me on November 15th after we had gone out to a concert. I'm having a hard time. I'm sorry that happened to you. You do your devaluation list. It will take the pain away the fastest. Do you have any advice for how to navigate a long distance relationship in a healthy way? Yeah, close the distance. Immediately, as fast as possible, close the distance within the next 14 days. If you can't get in front of the person within the next 14 to 20 days, end the relationship. That's how you navigate a long distance relationship. Close the distance. You have to. Don't have long distance relationships. That's avoidant behavior. It's okay to start a long distance relationship, like, oh, we met online, they were there, they're here, something like that, or for a few weeks, they're going to be here. For 2 months, they're going to be right. But you need to end that. It's not, oh, we're just going to navigate this. No. Have an end date to it. Okay, it's over on this date. This is the day that we meet in person and we get together and figure this out. You understand? You don't keep it long distance. Again, it's okay if it's temporarily long distance, but that means you know when the end date is. Why does the avoidant stop all the intimacy on their terms? To keep themselves safe emotionally. Don't worry so much about what the avoidant's thinking, feeling, and doing. Start focusing on what you're thinking, feeling, and doing so you can develop a stronger sense of self and move forward and get a secure attachment. Hello, do you suppose to let them know they're an avoidant so they can work on themselves? I mean, you can tell them if you want to, but you have to let go of what you can't control. So yeah, if you think it's loving to just give them this piece of information, go for it. But then you have to detach from the outcome because they may be like, okay, whatever, and never do anything with it. So you can tell them, but then you have to detach from what the outcome of that is going to be. I've tried to stop, but after 10 years, I keep allowing him to come back into my world. Yeah, well, stop trying to stop and stop. You need to set very clear boundaries for your life, actual standards, and recognize that he's not meeting your standards and stop wasting your time. 10 years, you're literally just wasting your time. Do you want to waste another 10 years or do you want to heal? Stop playing around. This isn't a game. Stop. Enroll in my healing course, get a one-on-one session with me, come to all the free lives that I'm putting on. Get yourself together. What advice would you give to a teenager who essentially has been discarded by their primary caretaker? Are they of age? If they're of age, I have advice for them. If they're underage, I don't work with them, but I'll give you advice to give to them. Hold on, are you a teenager? Oh, I can't tell. You have a young face. I'll give you advice that you can give to the teenager, which is you're almost out. Bide your time. Bide your time. So I don't know who's taking care of them now, where they're going, what they're doing, because I don't have that information. So you didn't tell me, are they living independently or is someone else caring for them? But you should view your primary caretakers as inadequate, because that's what they are, and bide your time until you can legally get on your own and go take care of yourself. That's how it's all going to end anyway, is with you taking care of yourself. So sooner you can get there and be focused on that time period, the better it's going to be. The person that you were assigned from birth is inadequate. It's okay. Some of us got inadequate parents. It's actually okay. It just sucks, but it's the way that it is right now. What makes a person a narcissist in terms of relationships? A narcissist is a narcissist, not just in terms of relationships, just everywhere in their life at all times. A narcissist will burn animals and ants and kill dogs and puppies. It's not even about human relationships. They're just people who lack empathy and lack accountability. They are literally evil people. They're bad, wicked people. I know when I say that, it sounds like I'm giving you like an easy way out answer, but this is actually like a studied, researched, very deep conclusion of what they are. They are the wicked people that you always knew existed, but you never knew where they were. They're right here next to you. They're the narcissists in your family. Vetting people, question mark. I have to go to your website and learn. You learn here on TikTok or YouTube, vetting. Or, yeah, on my website, that's if you want to get into really knowing, you take the Femininity Masterclass. It's called the Femininity Masterclass. That'll teach you some things about vetting men. We get into stuff I can't talk about on here. That was a deep class right there. It's called the Femininity Masterclass on my website. It's worth it, guys. pay the $1 a day and get access and then cancel it when you don't need it anymore. Is that a lot of times you get there and you're like, oh, how dare he ask that I pay for this? Because you just the lights, that's why. Because these lights are going to turn off without charging for something. Like, how dare he not give everything for free? Go ahead and pay, guys. It's not crazy. $1 a day is not going to kill you. Mine came back because things in his life are not working out. When he's happy and thriving, he discards me. Hell no. That's right, Sylvie. That's a hell no. Can rehab heal an avoidant with ADHD? You took three separate things that have nothing to do with each other. You're like rehab, which usually deals with addiction, and then you said an avoidant, which is an attachment issue, and then you said ADHD, which is a neurological issue. So that's three totally different things. Can therapy help an avoidant to heal their attachment issues? Yeah, if they work hard on their attachment issues, they can heal it. And despite having ADHD, that has nothing to do with whether or not they can heal. But the avoidant needs to get with someone who can say, I know how to heal avoidance and here's how. Don't just go to a therapist. Not all therapists are created equal. You need one who says, I know how to heal an avoidant and here's how we do it. Hope that makes sense. I have 3 small kids with a narcissistic mother. She is reverse discarding me. What's the best for the kids? It's too late. The best for the kids was that they weren't born into the situation, but you already had kids with a narcissist. So, gonna be hell on earth for them. What's the best for the kids? That I don't even know. I don't know anything about like what the battle is right now. Like, are you battling for custody or are you living separate? Like, I don't know really even what you mean. Like, what's the best for the kids? The best for the kids is gone. It's too late. They have a narcissistic mother. It's going to be awful for them. What hoops should we give them? Oh, if someone's trying to come back into your life, you should set up obstacles. Like, you just make them up. You're the queen. Because the problem is that a lot of times we're not recognizing the level of authority we have. So he wants to come back and you say, okay, yeah, you come back. First of all, I need to see that you're in therapy and in healing or have healed. I need a certificate that says you've healed from this thing. That was the original problem. So get proof that they no longer have the original problem. And then have them do a grand gesture of romance. Like, you got to go on your social media and announce this, or put a banner outside your house that says this and that. And then do a little something special for yourself that you like. You know, I don't know what you're into. Be like, and I want you to send me a shirtless dancing video or whatever. I don't know your vibe. You got to pick it for yourself. But recognize you have that level of authority as a queen. This teaches people, when I leave her life and I want to come back, there's going to be a price to pay. So now I think a little bit twice before just exiting this woman's life, because unless I want to jump through more hoops when I come back, you understand? You don't just let people back. Learning about limerence helped me to choose love instead of fall in love. Good, that's nice. That's nice. Courting greater than dating. Yes. Vetting greater than dating. You're absolutely right. Dating doesn't work for me. Dating wasn't designed for our favor. Yeah, the modern day dating scene is not designed to actually favor women. It's a trap. It's designed for the top 10% of men to bed as many of you guys as possible. That's how modern day dating is working out, and which puts you guys into this false perception of men, but you're all talking about the same guys. The other 90% of men literally have no idea what you guys are talking about. Like, we see it on social media. Like, the ladies will put the videos like, why does he ghost? You know, why is he so cold and blah, blah, blah. And the other 90% of men are like, what is she talking about? Like, I'm not, DMs empty, no response on the dating website, the social media. Is that we have no idea who you guys are dating. You're not dating the other 90% of men. You guys are only dating the top 10% of men because they're the most attractive. And so that's who you're feeling attracted to, so that's who you're dating. Whereas 50% of women are attractive to men. So half of you are just all dating the same 10% of men. 90% of men aren't getting any matches, 50% of women aren't getting any matches. LOL, laugh emoji. I love your peaceful presence. My avoidant love bombed me at the beginning of the relationship. Is that common? Yes. It's not only common, it's every single person has gone through that here. Mine said that I checked all the boxes and was everything he wanted for good and stay when conflict. The one I have never met. Mine said I checked all the boxes. Okay, good. When conflict happened, he broke up with me without repair or conversation. Yeah, every person's avoidant here did that exact same thing. So you're in the right room. You have to trust yourself too. That's really what trauma does. Yeah, we got to learn to trust ourselves. I need to learn how to vet. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Most ghosts due to lying. That's common. Yes. Mi ex se apropió de mis espacios. Sirve de algo. Word I don't know. Que se busque los suyos. I actually don't know what your comment means. Let me translate it. Uh, my ex took over my spaces. Is it any use to ask him to look for his own? Yeah. Kick him out. That's having boundaries. I try to make it seem like I was the emotional immature. He's trying to make it seem like you're the emotional immature one. That's what they do. How do you vet? I want you to watch my videos on it because I won't have time to go into it here. I've been 29 days today. A few days ago, I saw he was already dating. No, take that crying emoji off. Take the crying emoji off. You don't know what he's actually doing. You just see things, you see images. Don't worry about what he's doing. Don't be consumed with his thoughts, feelings, emotions. So someone else is going to get left, someone else is going to get abused, abandoned. You don't know what's really happening there. So just because he went and picked an inferior person to spend time with, you don't worry about that. Focus on your purpose and ask yourself, does he qualify? Do your devaluation list so that you can heal. Don't look at his social media and try to figure out, where's he at? Who's he with? Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Wow, you are cold-blooded. Laughing emoji. Yeah, if you don't meet my standards or respect my boundaries, then you get cut off. I mean, it's not even about being mean. It's just that is the actual healthy way of living your life. People who are toxic keep people around who are also toxic, and then they just are in a big toxic cluster mush with each other. I don't want to be involved. I want to love and enjoy my life. I care too much, he cared too little. Mimi, if it's over, it's over. He probably isn't healed, but he isn't stuck either. That's from Royalty. Should I take my avoidant back after second ghosting, 3 months silent? Set up the boundaries, set up the obstacles. If he overcomes the obstacles and he meets your boundaries, then you can take him back. It's true, Doc. I'm broken too. You're not broken. Don't say that. Don't say that. It's not appropriate. It's not acceptable. Do not say that. Don't ever say that. It's your job to protect your ego. You're not protecting your ego by saying, I'm broken. You're creating a false story and then putting that into the universe and putting that into yourself and speaking death into yourself. Don't do that. It's detrimental frame. I don't feel like it's over. I feel like his distracting. You got the guy who's dating someone else. Don't even worry about whether it's over. Just focus on doing the devaluation list and identifying if he actually qualifies to be with you. My ex told me we both needed to heal to carry on. Then he went silent on me. I've backed off. Yeah, that's all you can do is back off when they've backed off. Can anxious people show up as avoidance in friendships? Yes. Is saying I'm done and terminating the call in an immature way to handle conflict? Yes, generally. Unless it was after repeated warnings and a person continued to violate your boundaries. I like him very much, but if I answer him after no contact, he thinks I'm weak. I don't. It ends. Sad face emoji. It doesn't matter that you like him. It doesn't matter if he loves you or if you love him. That's not the question. The question is, does he qualify according to my standards? On paper, does he actually qualify to be my forever mate? If he doesn't, stop talking to him. How do I protect my son from repeating the same generational curses as his dad? You don't protect your son from repeating the generational curses. You allow your son the freedom to live his life and make his choices, and you set a good example. You teach him wisdom. You tell him everything from a young age. You can't stop him from the choices he's going to make. He's still going to make his own choices. And it's not a literal generational curse, by the way. It's just patterns of trauma. One-on-one sessions with him are awesome. Ain't that something says. Thank you very much for saying that. We appreciate that. Hi, how can I heal from a parent who cut off access and communication? That's like the easiest thing in the world. Like, when you guys come on with that, it's like, it's a parent. Like, unless you're under 20, like, it's not even like, you don't need a parent past the age of 20. It's a parent. I understand when you can, like, it's my adult child, it's my spouse, my mate. But a parent, they cut off access and communication. They did you a favor. Now you don't have to cut them off. Do you know how crummy it is to have to cut off your own parents? It's a terrible position to be in. This parent did you the favor of being so ridiculous and toxic that they cut you off. Perfect. Block. Just block. They gave you every excuse now. You're good. You owe them nothing. You're Gucci. Perfect. Now you owe nothing. You don't even have to feel guilty about blocking, ignoring, moving on. You're done. You're done. Your parents don't owe you anything. They raised you for 20 years, really 18 in the U.S., and then you're done. You're done. They don't owe you anything past that, and you don't owe them anything. Never talk to that person again. That's my advice. Let me put that softer. For now, you can cut off communication altogether instead of just never again. Just for now, you can cut off communication altogether. Please don't copy paste your comments. I'm going one by one and you're burying me with the copy pasting. It's not, I can only answer your question once. I know I can get another guy. It's not the issue, is that I felt deep love. Yeah, I mean, I didn't tell you that you can't get another guy or that was the issue. The problem is the love, yeah. So do the devaluation list. Sorry guys, there's a lot of copy paste here. Why does it feel like it doesn't matter what I do, I will never win? He always twists things. Because that's true about that particular person. You can't win with a person who always twists things. You get away from that person. Why are you talking to a gaslighter? Get away from them. Mimi, I know I deserve better, but I can't seem or ready to let go when everything was good. Do your devaluation list, Mimi. She wrote this before I answered her other questions, but that's the answer to all your questions is do your devaluation list. I left because his behavior is sneaky. He told me about a 3 hour break a week later. Good. Good. Sneaky behavior is your legitimate reason for leaving, so you're good. How can you tell they are deactivating or devaluing? I don't know what you mean by deactivating, but if they're devaluing you, they're telling you that they feel differently or their behavior changes around you. It's not necessary for you to be consumed with their thoughts and feelings. So who cares whether they're deactivating or they're devaluing? Ask yourself, are they living up to my standards? Are they meeting my boundaries of what I need? He was not forthcoming and it triggered my unsafety. Yeah, you don't have to justify your leaving your guy. He wasn't meeting your standards, plain and simple. Kemi says, I think my question was missed. No, I think what really happened is that you don't realize how far behind I am on answering all the questions because I'm actually answering every single question. He said we couldn't work. I asked him not to discard me. He said he would see, but slowly pulled away. Yeah, that's typical avoidant. And then he left. Yep, typical avoidant behavior. Let me know if you have a question. How do you vet? You guys are going to learn by going to the YouTube or on TikTok search bar and looking up my videos on vetting. Is it possible that we as an avoidance partner, there's also a free PDF on my website that you'll find in the video. It talks about that, how to find that. Is it possible that we as an avoidance partner could inspire them to seek for help through patience and love? Yeah, you're going to have patience and love while you're being avoided and not being talked to. But yeah, you can have all the patience and love in the world. You got to get out of this idea like I'm going to change them. And you got to get into the idea of I need to change me. You have self-love blindness. And you're thinking, can we help them? Should I be more patient and loving? Obviously, you're a loving, patient person. That's how you're maintained a relationship with them this far. Now you need boundaries. Do you have a list of vetting questions? Yes, on the website there's a free PDF. Believe me, it's on the resources page. Believe me, in time you will see it clearly. Someone says, why is the discard so sudden? Said he loved me Christmas morning, then ghosted a couple hours later. The discard is sudden because it's based on feelings instead of being based on consideration or love for anyone. It's just based on fear and cowardice. If he keeps coming back, does that mean I'm the one he loves? No, it means you're toxic because you don't have good boundaries. Don't start it if no one willing to relocate. Yeah, correct. With long distance relationships, like you have to relocate. Someone's going to have to bridge the gap. So do not go into a long distance relationship if one of you is not already knowing in your head that you're going to have to move. That's correct. 100% correct. Holidays are usually centers around family of origin. I think they get triggered more around the holidays. That is true. Yeah. They try to stay away. My avoidant left me on Christmas Day. He never heard of APD before, doing lots of research on 4, and then you stopped talking. Okay, let me know if you have a question. How do you heal from a parent who has cut off access and communication? For now, don't talk to them anymore. I'm based in the UK and my wife is based in the US. Green card takes time, but I want to be and stay with my wife. How do we manage to avoid infidelity? Be and stay with each other. She's in the US. She needs to come over to the UK. while you guys are waiting for the green card process to go through. You need to be together while you're going through the process. Staying with an avoidant is doing a disservice to the person out there who truly loves you. Yeah, gotta heal it. Hey, Trinidad and Tobago, good to see you. What's up, Bay Area? Is narcissism a spectrum? Yeah. There's some people who are more evil than others. If something is done to me, I don't talk it out. I just end the relationship. Is that avoidant? Yes. You need to heal that. It's emotional immaturity. No contact 4 weeks, then video call a week later, but I didn't answer, thank God. Ooh, Femininity Masterclass? Yeah. Healingcourse.org. Inside, go to Healing School, and then you'll find the Femininity Masterclass. Sign up for it. It's worth it. Amazing deal. Yeah, we'll put your money where your mouth is so that I can afford to eat. I've spent so much time and effort to let a narcissist or an avoidant, and I'm done. Never again. Good policy. No narcissist, no avoidance is a good policy. Do most avoidants change, or do most just die avoidant? I don't know. But they can change, so we'll focus on that for now. Or it can make it worse if the psychologist doesn't know about trauma and attachment. Yeah, not all therapists are created the same, so make sure you got someone who tells you, I know how to heal this. That's who you want to go to. Just like you want to go to a doctor who knows how to heal your disorder, not a doctor who's like, oh yeah, I have my degree. That's meaningless. Do you know how to heal this or not? Do you have experience with this or not? When you read a question and giggle, I giggle too. Coworker thinks I'm entertaining myself, LOL. It's a good time for applying not being consumed with what other people think. You're in your own world over here, and your coworkers see you giggling. It's good. Maybe they'll tune in one day. A lot of people will take one or two things a person said and did and call them a narcissist. Nelly is here to defend those who are called narcissists. Nelly, don't worry about it. Where can we find the Femininity Masterclass? Click on my picture. Go to the link in my bio, healingcourse.org, or type that in. When you get there, click on Healing School. Then scroll down and find the Femininity Masterclass inside Healing School. It's all inside Healing School. What happens when they accuse you of things they are doing? That's called projection. That means that you need to get away from them because they try to alter reality. Vet. Thoughts on open phone policy in relationships? Is it secure behavior? I'm assuming you mean like you both have each other's code on your phone or whatever. Yeah, I would say that's secure behavior. Do you believe emotional cheating is worse than physical? I hate that question. I just feel like it's like a sociology question instead of a psychology question. And I'm not a sociologist. Like I'm not here to discuss pop culture ideas and things like that and give my opinion on which sort of cheating is worse. Like I'm not into that, bro. But I can tell you statistically that women tend to be more offended by the emotional cheating and men are more offended by the physical cheating. I can give you that fact. Can it be like these man avoidant and narcissists can smell us good women because we can be manipulated? Yes, with the narcissist because they're hunters, so they hunt like predators for prey. With the avoidance, they're not looking for good women that can be manipulated. Avoidants are Sometimes they kind of are subconsciously, but it's not malicious with avoidance. It's immature. It's unhealed trauma with avoidance. Your opinion of lack of integrity and self-agency. Charisma works. Lack of integrity and self-agency. You just threw like some random terms. What are your opinion of these random terms? Lack of integrity. My opinion of lack of integrity is if you lack integrity, you lack integrity. Like, what are you talking about? Like, give me some context. Self-agency. What's my opinion of self-agency? It's a good thing. Lack of integrity is a bad thing. Give me some context. Charisma works. What are you talking about? DMs empty, you say? We can change that. I'm not talking about myself. I'm saying 90% of men. Yeah, but you should change it for 90% of men. Ladies, stop going after the top 10%. Go out there after the guys that seem like the sleepers and the fixer-uppers physical appearance-wise. And send them some DMs. Get some conversations going. You'll change their life. Most men on this app have never had a DM come into them. Send them one. Change their life. It'd be amazing. Do you believe emotional cheating is worse than... okay, there's that guy again. Stop copy-pasting, please. No copy-pasting. Oh my God, he just kept copy-pasting it. How irritating. He plans trips, follows through, flies me out, all the things, does not respond too well to my emotions. Does he qualify as your forever mate? Someone that doesn't respond well to your emotions, does that qualify as your husband? If no, stop flying out. Okay? You're not a body to be used. You're looking for your forever mate. Hey, what did you say your WhatsApp number is? +1 414 722 1451. He doesn't take accountability well. Yeah, he doesn't meet your qualifications. That's an automatic disqualification, by the way. It doesn't take accountability. You can't have a relationship with that. In what order are you reading the comments? In the order that they came. I'm not reading the newest comments. I'm reading the oldest comments, and I'm working my way up to the newer ones. Man's smarts, wits is attractive than his looks. Yeah, now you get it. Look for the smart, spiritual, witty guys that have other qualities and that are not just cute and beautiful, and send them a DM. Start conversations with those guys. What is an example of love bombing versus not love bombing? I sometimes miss social cues. It's not about social cues. There is no way to identify love bombing until it stops. That's when you know it was love bombing. It's called incongruence. So they were talking a big game, doing all these things, saying all these things. They were great everywhere, and then all of a sudden, they're not. You stop right there and you say, hey, there's an incongruence. Get back to the way you were or I'm gone. That's how you spot love bombing. It's the moment there's an incongruence. You spot it, call it out. Please don't copy paste your comments, guys. I think the pool of men on dating apps behave the same. That makes no sense. Every man on the dating app is a totally different guy. They're all different. If you're talking about the top 10% that you guys are focusing on, yeah, they're going to tend to behave the same because they behave like a hot woman, like they have so many options. But they're men, so it's a bad position for them to be put in, and it's an even worse position for you guys to be put into. When men who don't have a moral framework that they're sticking to, have a lot of options, then they just go and sleep with as many of the options as they can. Society was never meant to be built that way. Because at least back in the day, like if you were a king or something like that, you had to marry all those women. You realize that? Like, yeah, you might be able to get multiple wives, but you still have to marry them. So it's still some level of seriousness to it and commitment. Only in today's modern society are you letting men sleep with a bunch of different women and they don't pay a dime. They pay for dinner. Crazy. Insane. Insane. And you're sharing, I'm letting you ladies know, you're sharing the same guys. The other 90% of men have no idea what you guys are talking about because you're all getting cheated on and used by the guys who are getting all the options. Because most men are not found to be physically attractive to women. You are right. It's my job to be right. Do you give people, so just doing my job, ma'am, do you give people the benefit of the doubt? Absolutely. X apologized for how he treated me on my birthday 6 months after we broke up. I'm still angry. Get out of anger, get into your purpose and everything. Your anger is not accomplishing anything. I'm sorry, it's not a healed state. Are you in a relationship / married? I won't comment on that right now. Actually, I will comment. I am currently single right now. Do you accept appointments? Yes. Go to my website, schedule a one-on-one appointment. How do you know when it's your trauma that makes you want to leave relationships? When you're not basing it on actual violations of your standards and boundaries. People are attracted to a lot of people all of the time. It doesn't mean it's cheating. Okay, I don't know why you said that. Is it? it's like almost sounds guilty, right? Hey, we're attracted all the time. It's not cheating. Like, okay, I don't know. Were we talking about that at some point? Is it bad to not want to date at all, or is that being a broken person? That's you in the traumatized state. That's being a traumatized person. Like when you say, when you do it out of fear, when you do it out of, I don't know how to keep myself safe, then that's traumatization. If you just don't have that personal desire and you want to be a single person, that's fine. But you can't be afraid of dating or avoiding dating. That's traumatization. When you screwed up in the relationship, when do you stop trying to fix it? If you want the person, then never. Do we genuinely love the specific person, or are we attached to the reflection they emanate about us? Your attachment is to the idealization, to the projection you have of the person. You never really truly know a person. You just are looking at a physical body and then you create a file about them in your head. Like all the information that you're getting. Some of it is lies. Some of it is them telling you lies. Some of it is lies you told yourself. I had an avoidant partner that never really asked me a lot of questions about myself. It was actually quite amazing. And we talked for months. And I realized that the reason why she never felt the need to get to know me is because she filled in the gaps in her own mind about me. She was just deciding to believe and think and feel whatever she wanted to feel about me. The entire time. And I remember thinking like, well, she never asked any questions. Like I would do interesting, amazing things. She would never even ask how it was that I did that. You know what I mean? Like show up to surprise her somewhere and she wouldn't even ask how I figured out where she was going to be. She'd be like, oh my God, thank you. It's like, you don't ask a lot of questions, do you? Very interesting. Being discarded while being told, I like you, I want to see you one day. Yeah, that's just what it's like to be with an avoidant. But it's a mother or father. Those are titles. When your first 20 years of life is done, then the title just becomes honorary. There's no more mothering and fathering to actually do. They just become a cheerleader. Their job when you're an adult, the mother and father's job is just to give encouraging words of advice when asked for, or cheer you on. There's nothing else to do. It's done. Listen to Sylvie. Sylvie says, I had to cut off my parents and it's the healthiest thing I've done. Sad at some level, but very peaceful. I can agree with you as someone who's had to cut off parents is the same thing. It's healthy. Don't regret it at all. Sad on some level, but very peaceful. I would watch my avoidant ex be dismissive with his own family members. Is that common? For some are trauma bonded to their family members. Are we inherently healthy or toxic, or are we juggling between both but not aware? I would say we're inherently toxic. When we are born as children, you have to be taught to be healthy. Like, you're kind of inherently just like, children are toxic. They're selfish. Sometimes they're a little narcissistic. They have to be taught to do things like share and pay attention to other people. Children are very fearful. That's toxic as well. I want him so bad, but he doesn't want me solely because my family and he cut me off. You're too much in the other person's head. That's just the excuse he gave you. You don't know why he really said he doesn't want you, or why he really doesn't want you, or whatever. You don't know. So all you know is that he cut you off, therefore he doesn't qualify. So you need to do your devaluation list so that you're not wanting him so bad. And then you'll feel better as soon as you complete your devaluation list. Okay, guys, we're at the 2-hour mark. So unfortunately, it looks like I'm not going to get to all the questions. But here's what I'll do. I'll do a lightning round and I'll just answer really quickly the remaining questions that I have here. I went on a date last night. The man hasn't said anything until now. Should I reach out or not? No. Give him time, and then after, that was just last night. It's too early. Give him time, give him a couple of days, and then you can reach out if he doesn't reach out, and then see where he's at. But don't chase. Like, you can reach out, but don't just continue to chase him. Would you say the same for cheating, that it's based on feelings, not consideration? That is based on, it's based on feelings. Yeah, cheating is based on feelings, not consideration. Yes, correct. Question, how often are voids just cheating? Not all the time, maybe not even that often. They're not talking to you not because they're cheating, because they have emotional immaturity and unhealed trauma. I want him so bad. I already answered that question. You need to do your devaluation list. What if I don't think the person is worth my time to talk it out? Should I still talk it out? You should be considerate. Even though you don't think the person is worth your time, you should be considerate, unless they're abusive so that it would be dangerous for you to talk to them. Then you don't talk to them. Then it's appropriate to ghost. It's always appropriate to ghost an abusive person. What do you recommend for an avoidant co-parent who only gives gifts to some parents, to some kids, and ignores others? What do I recommend for them or for you to do? And this is your spouse? Like, there's nothing you can do about who they give gifts to. What are you going to do about it? Condemn their actions to the children and move on with your life. You can't do anything about it. Swayara, are narcissists and avoidance the same people? No, totally different people, different ends of the spectrum. How would you tell an avoidant to go for therapy without labeling them as an avoidant? You tell them specifically what it was they did that you don't like and how it is you think they should fix it, which is by going to therapy. Just name the actual symptoms instead of creating a diagnosis. Should I suggest therapy to him after the discard? You can if you want to. It's not Nine times out of 10, that's not going to make a difference. So don't get your hopes up like, oh yeah, I'm going to suggest this and then he's going to do it. Like, doubtful. But if you think that's going to be helpful, truly, then you're motivated by love. But if you're motivated by something else, then no. Definitely not defending narcissists. I implicitly said people don't really know they label. Yeah, so what's the point? For who are you saving? Let it go. Don't repeat this talking point. It's an overused. Don't repeat. You're just repeating a talking point. Like it's not actually useful for our conversation. Nobody in here has overused the term narcissist. Not once in this conversation has that happened. So you just came in and regurgitated a talking point. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do people turn into avoidance exclusively if parents were narcissists? Or what could be other reasons for becoming an avoidant? Any type of engulfment in their childhood, neglect, abuse in their childhood. Could have been their siblings abusing them as well. Oh my God, sometimes the fixer-uppers are the worst ones. How to help if you see a family member is dealing with a narcissist. It's not your job to help. It's your job to take care of yourself, Angel. It's your job to take care of yourself. Love bombing is classic. They love you and they want to marry you, and in the second conversation or second date they run. So love bombing can go on for months. It's not on the second date necessarily. Can you please repeat that? Yeah, I don't know what you mean. The harem, yep. Wild stuff. Wow. Any tips for hoarding during or after grief? My phone cut off last night. Yeah, you have to flip your perspective from why you're not. Jesus, I gave you a long answer last night. You have to flip your perspective from why you're not throwing things away to why it would be good and beneficial to throw those things away. And understand that in your grief, you're wanting to honor your parents, but hoarding is dishonoring your parents. So find a purpose where you can channel that love, that grief, and that pain into something beneficial that will actually you'll build for them in their memory. So it will truly honor them in memoriam instead of what you're doing, which is expedient in the moment but is dishonoring to them. So go throw your stuff out. How often are avoids cheating? Not necessarily that often. Yay for being single, Roman. Yeah, you gotta set boundaries. I am valid for breaking up with him every time he gives a silent treatment, or am I disrespecting his boundaries? The silent treatment is a form of neglect, and it's maladaptive communication. So it's appropriate if that violates your boundaries, it's appropriate that you enforce your boundaries. So it's reasonable to break up over the silent treatment. But when you say every time, it means that you keep taking him back, which means that you're still not really solidly sticking to your boundaries and demanding change before you return back with the person. Is secretly texting a coworker from emotional or physical a form of emotional or physical cheating? Obviously emotional. The best men, who are not usually the most handsome men, no, there's no connection between looks and being a good person. So it's not like, well, the best ones are not handsome and the worst ones are handsome. No, there's no connection. We don't know. So that's what I mean when I say give chances to the other 90%, these other guys that are out there who are not in the absolute top 10 most gorgeous, cute guys. Give other chances. And chances means that you're vetting them. Not that you're wasting time dating and going to get hurt by them. You just vet them. You still got to vet. My ex ghosted me for 7 months now, calling my phone but won't say anything. How can I heal? Block and enroll in my healing course. I'm the blocker. Okay? If you ever block someone who didn't deserve it, unblock and apologize to them. What's your number? I already gave it to you. Are healthy, open relationships possible? Yeah, of course. But you need to be with a healthy, open person. and you need to be a healthy, open person. A lot of you guys are definitely in here with the wrong questions. And you're in here to what? Judge them? Oh, you're still on. 10 California time, question mark. Just about to get off in like 2 minutes. A day after the discard, I feel like just texting, you should go for therapy. Yeah, I mean, that's not healthy. Does that sound like it's going to be useful to you? You can literally ask AI. You say, tell AI, my ex is an avoidant. Should I send them this message? And they'll tell you exactly what you need to know. If my ex reposted a TikTok about bad boyfriends 1 month after a breakup, is that her coping? We don't know. Don't try to guess what she's feeling and thinking. Don't be consumed with her thoughts and feelings. Focus on your own healing. But it could possibly be both because he works with her and would have the opportunity to do something physical. Correct. But that's not the question you asked me. I'm so sorry I missed your long answer. I was so eager. 20 days in after the discard, I still can't eat, sleep, break down randomly. How to support myself better. Be here for the 12 days of healing. That would be a good place to start. And listen to what I'm telling you and apply what it is that I'm telling you to do. Chances are you came in late and that's why you feel clueless. We start at 12 Eastern. Be here tomorrow at 12 Eastern. I logged in a bit late today. What's the third step of healing? Never become consumed with the other person's thoughts, feelings, and actions. When should you block an avoidant? You said that if they are abusive, what would be considered abuse? Abuse is mistreatment. Treating you in a way that's detrimental to you and detrimental to your mental health. How do you identify a securely attached person? A securely attached person is not afraid to take risks and try relationships. They're not afraid to get hurt. They do get hurt. And they don't do things out of fear. They do things out of love in the relationship. They don't behave in a traumatized manner.